Good evening, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about meditation, and of course, this is preceding the course I'll be teaching sometime soon. But I work with meditation and mindfulness in my practice regularly, and it's such a beautiful experience. And I think more and more companies, more and more people, more and more individuals, and certainly healthcare is looking at the value and benefits of meditation. So for this video, I thought I'd share a few ideas with you to help you remember or learn what meditation is. And the first quotation that I came across is actually from a site, it's called the Age of Enlightenment, and it says the goal of meditation isn't to control your thoughts, it's to stop letting them control you. So the goal of meditation isn't to control your thoughts, it's to stop letting them control you. And this is the thing that so often we don't have a break in our thoughts, right? So if we're paying attention to our thoughts through mindfulness perhaps, we'll notice that we go from one thought to another, to another, to another. And sometimes what we started with is very different from where we end off. And this can happen in companies and offices where, business meetings often turn into this, where people veer off onto a particular direction and it has nothing to do with what the intention of the meeting was. And by the end of the meeting, a lot of people sit around and say, did we accomplish anything? So of course, then we take minutes, right? So we take minutes and we say, okay, these are the goals that we want to accomplish. And we have that summary at the end of this is what was accomplished. And surprisingly, we can put fancy language into all of those minutes, but a lot of meetings become less than useful. They are a good place to talk about ideas, maybe brainstorm about ideas, but it's not really to meditate on ideas, right? So meditation, again, this idea of stopping letting our thoughts control us. And a lot of times we've got so much that we want to share with someone that we're talking and talking and talking, and we're not having a break to listen to what's being said from the other side. And again, this can happen in a group, or this can happen individually, this can happen in couples, it can happen in friendships, and you'll notice whether you might benefit from some meditation. Though I suspect that most people would say, no, my friend or my partner would benefit. And we can all benefit. So the next quotation I came across is by Thich Nhat Hanh. And it says, meditation is not evasion. It is a serene encounter with reality. A serene encounter with reality. This is interesting because a lot of people will say, okay, so you're just going to sit around and meditate, and really minimize the benefits of meditation because it seems like, well, you're doing nothing and that's not getting any work done. And oftentimes people get a lot less work done when their minds are filled with too much information, when we don't have that steadiness to understand that reality is seen much more clearly with that clear mind. And so, of course, this is part of the reason that I really recommend that everyone try this. And it's not even just trying it, right? It's not like a sample. It's not a little sample that you get at a grocery store or a Costco or wherever to just try it out, which some people do. I've tried meditation. But unless you're doing it regularly and consistently, you don't get to see the true benefits and blessings that come from it. And then finally, there's a quotation by Chidvilasananda, and it says, meditate. Let the light of the heart engulf you. And I love these words. So it says again, meditate. Let the light of the heart engulf you. And I work with heart health, brain health. So when I think about the heart, and I hope when you do too, most of us do, we link it with love. And that is the energy that emanates from the heart. And there is a light with that love that can emanate to affect ourselves as it comes through us, and also everyone that we interact with, which is such a beautiful space. And so again, here's a few quotations that have talked about meditation. What exactly is meditation? So I came across these fun acronyms that I've heard in various lectures and really wanted to share with you because I think they're fun ways to remember, if you can remember these acronyms, or maybe you want to write them down. So the first one is literally for meditation. And the meditation acronym, I just love this, is mind engaged deeply in total awareness, transcending its own nature. Mind engaged deeply in total awareness, transcending its own nature. So if we can think about this, if you know about the mind really has a lot of human tendencies, right? So its natural inclination is to move into the next thought, right? That's usually what the mind does. And if we are transcending this, we are actually transcending its own nature. We're transcending the mind's nature to get beyond the mind. So that's something for you to think about and contemplate or reflect on. And then I today itself actually heard this great idea about yoga. And I don't know if you know that yoga and meditation are very closely related. So even in most yoga practices, there is this process of meditation. And yoga itself comes from a word meaning union. So usually comes from yud, or again, we can think of yoga as union. And what is this union with? This union is sometimes one could say to God, to the universe, or to our higher selves or higher consciousness. This is what the term yoga means, and it's not really what we practice in North America very commonly. And even in Eastern cultures, it's actually moved much more into an athletic sport almost, right? It's literally what sort of positions can you get into and for how long can you hold those positions. And yes, there's benefit to different channels. We can think of the benefit of chi or prana flow, but it wasn't the intention of yoga. Yoga's intention is about union. And this idea that I came across, or this description that was talked about, was from Tibetan Buddhism, which is actually very similar to Vedic scripture. And it talks about the yoga beyond all yoga. The yoga beyond all yoga. And this is the yoga that cannot be surpassed. So this would be about reaching our highest consciousness or realization. And it's that union, this is how it's described, that union which is defined as the disunion of the union with pain. Isn't that interesting? So again, I'll read that to you. That union which is defined as the disunion of the union with pain. And if you know about some of the teachings of whether Vedic or Buddhist, the whole idea is about understanding suffering and overcoming suffering. So we can think of suffering as pain, could be a pain physically, mentally, emotionally, and to transcend that is the highest union. And so today I'd love for you to think about, if you are meditating, even if you're doing something as simple as breathing exercises and just focusing on your breath, remember that the goal is to transcend the mind and to have this union with higher consciousness or God or the universe, and to literally get out of our thinking mind, right? So I'd love for you to do that for at least 5 minutes after this video. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great night, everyone.